It's the Big Trav and Q Show. What they waiting for? Just another damn podcast. Now let's go.
That's right. Let's go. What up, y'all? It's the Big Trav and Q Show. Big Trav in the building, and that's my co-host.
Q, what's up, Trav? You ready to do it, baby?
For sure. Thirsty as hell, dog. Thirsty as hell. But I think I quenched it, so I think we good. What's up, y'all? What's going on? You know, what's been going on today, man? Everybody practicing their social distancing. Everybody got their mask on. I was out today, man. I actually took a trip. I took a trip to the motor today.
You actually went?
I went to the motor. Are you looking?
Okay.
Are you looking at the screen?
Yep, I'm looking.
What do you see in front of me?
Can't you see like photo, baby?
Who you see in front of me?
What you mean who I see?
Name all of them. Name everybody you see.
What you mean, man? Why you want me to name everybody?
Because I just want to see if you know who everybody is.
Come on, man.
Okay, all right.
Like I'm not a Marvel.
So how it look though? So how it look though?
Huh?
How it look?
I think it's good for the Big Trav Show. I like the place, man. You know what I'm saying? All we need is some pop in the back.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me pull it up. I gotta pull it up on my Facebook on my laptop. I gotta see how it look, man.
Mm-hmm.
Had to get some of my had to get some of the boys on the show too. They
like the group the boys.
Nah, hell no. like the Avengers, the boys. You know. Got my man Thanos.
Why you hating on the boys, man?
I'm not.
You weren't trying to dial your heart. You weren't trying to dial your heart. Man.
No, because I was dialing Jodeci heart back in the day when they was popping.
The boys came before Joe. What are you talking about?
Okay. Yeah.
You should know that, right?
I like it. Look at my boys. Yeah, look at my boys. My boys representing up there. Look at the Avengers. Yeah. The new landscape. Some more landscape. I had to get some more landscaping in here. So had to get my boys up here. But Black Panther, man, he wobbling a little bit, man. I'm gonna have to work on his stance a little bit, man. But that's a good look, man. That's a good.
Where's Black Lightning at? I need Black Lightning up there.
Listen, I just started the collection, man. Can we, before we get done, by the time you make it here, I'm gonna have all the Avengers and a mama. I'm gonna have the Justice League and a mama by the time you get here. So
I'm gonna need Blade up there too, man.
No Blade. No, you know what? You know what I want to add. I mean, I'm not gonna crowd it.
That's a travesty. What you just said. That is a travesty.
You know what I want to. You know what I want to add. I want to add the Hulkbuster suit. I want the Hulkbuster suit, and I want the Juggernaut. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Then I'm done.
Okay.
Then I'm done.
No Blade? No way. No Blade.
No Blade. You know who else I want? I want War Machine too.
No. You're not gonna get out of this.
Okay.
Why you have an issue with Blade? Talk to the viewers.
Cause he's not an Avenger.
That's it.
You know what? Blade ain't sweet enough, dog. I mean, let's just keep it real. Come on, okay, let me. You always make me pick. You don't let me have all of them. You make me pick. All right, now I'm gonna make you pick. Now, would you take Blade or Black Panther?
Well, wait a minute. That was not the. You just changed up the whole argument.
Because that's what you're doing to me.
You have the Black Panther up there.
Right.
I asked you. You said you was gonna have everybody and their mama and their grandmama.
That was just a joke. That was just a joke at how long it's gonna take you to get here. That was just a joke.
Okay.
But seriously speaking,
me and the viewers, we heard you totally different. And I just said to you, Now you making it more than a big deal now, because I was like, okay, so what's up? You gonna have some blade for me? Now you was like,
nah,
your argument is like,
no blade.
No, because he wasn't an Avenger.
No. I was just
Luke Cage was an Avenger.
I was just fucking around.
Wolverine wasn't an Avenger.
Wolverine coming to the table. He coming to the table. Like I told you.
But your argument was because Blade wasn't an Avenger. You didn't say anything else.
I just threw that out there.
You ain't got no comeback. That's it. You just biased.
Right.
You just biased against the brothers.
Listen, I just threw that out there. No, like
you
I
just
said,
you just want Wesley Snipes to be Nino forever.
No, I don't want.
He can't be Blade.
I'm a low level collector. I'm a low level. I just started today. I was able to secure all of these for a low price, so I came up.
Right, but you do realize that had Blade had not been successful, you wouldn't have all these movies that are coming out now. So
why you
Blade essentially gave birth to the Marvel universe to where it is. You can't hate on that.
Why you on Blade nuts so tough, man?
Oh, that's your comeback. That's your comeback.
Why you on Blade nuts so tough, man?
These
get
nuts.
Get off.
That's what you come back on.
Listen,
I was just putting it
into
historical perspective. That's all. I mean,
get off,
man. If you don't want to be hit with the facts, it's all good, man.
I'm gonna get me a shirt. Good. I'm gonna get me a shirt made to say "Get off Blade nuts."
Yeah, and I'm gonna have one too. Why? Because he's not an Avenger.
No, but seriously, like I said, I want the Hulkbuster suit. I want Juggernaut, and I want Wolverine, and I want War Machine, and then I'm done. The slickest ones. Like
you don't want the Winter Soldier?
No, I don't want Winter Soldier. You
don't want Falcon?
No. You know what? I'm gonna take Falcon, because if I don't take Falcon, somebody gonna be like, "What's wrong? You don't want no brothers in your collection?" Yeah, I'm gonna take Falcon. I'm gonna take Falcon.
Like,
okay.
What's up, Trav? You don't want the brothers on the wall, man?
That was hilarious. Listen, okay, all right, okay. I'm gonna revamp my collection. Okay, I'm gonna get Gamora. I wonder if they got a Okoye. I wouldn't mind.
You know what I meant to ask you? Before you finish. Did you watch Swamp Thing?
No, that don't look like nothing I would want to watch.
But it's still all up under the DC and Marvel umbrella. So I thought, if you spent your time watching The Boys, I thought maybe you would watch Swamp Thing. You know what I'm saying?
No,
to give me
that didn't
so
interest me.
I can't have a discussion with you about Swamp Thing.
Yeah, sure. But I've never seen it before. It just, I don't know. I just can't do it. He's just too slimy for me, man.
Did you like the comics?
Nope, never seen the comics. I just didn't get into it. It was more, it fell more onto the horror side. And no, I'm good. I actually seen I got the DC app and I got the Disney Marvel app. And and on the, I think it's Swamp Thing is with Marvel. So Swamp Thing,
Swamp Thing is with DC.
Swamp Thing is with DC. They got several Swamp Thing movies and TV shows on the DC app, and I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
Yeah, the old versions was kind of like, but I saw the recent one, the 2019 version one of it, and it's so kind of hard to have a conversation with you. Never. Seen it.
Never seen it. Never was interested. Let me see who else. No, but realistically, no, I just don't want to clog it up. Like, you know what? If you look, you know what? I wouldn't mind having Captain Marvel as well, but I just want the ones that look cool. You know, I mean, it don't have nothing to do with the cartoon. It don't have nothing to do with race. If it looked cool, I want it. You know, and Hulkbuster suit that's dope.
But did you check out Batwoman
on the CW?
Yes.
I caught one episode, and so I never.
It took a beating.
I never made it back to it. It was the actress that played Batgirl. She didn't do it for me. She wasn't a good actress, and so I couldn't get into it.
So you're saying Ruby Rose isn't a good actress?
Yeah, she didn't do it for me. You know, I think that once Halle Berry, you need somebody a little more. She's not sexy enough.
Halle Berry played Catwoman. She didn't play Batgirl.
I just meant something Batwoman and Catwoman. You gotta be sexy to me to play those parts, man. You just can't be a chick just running around in a black suit, you know. And that's what she was. You know, that wasn't good enough for me, man. I was thinking cat suit kicking ass, and that wasn't that actress. So
yeah, well, it took some. The reviews on it was pretty rough, man. Batwoman reviews was pretty rough, mainly because of her comments, you know. So about who she felt the show was geared towards. And yeah, she took some really, and the show wasn't even really hitting over 1 million people, you know. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, hey, there's the new addition to the set, guys. You know, like I said, I just when you do a podcast, a TV show, I just think it's cool to have some nice props, you know. And so the Avengers hold me down. They holding the show down until my man Q get here. So
that's right. And Blade gonna be sitting right in front and center with that sword, like that would be so sweet with Blade in the front, kicking everything off with everybody behind him, and he should be the one saying,
If you bring a blade, we can put Blade on here if you bring a blade.
Okay, all right.
We'll put Blade on here. Okay.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'm excited for the show today. The big Trav and Q show, man. What about you, Trav? You ready to kick it off?
Oh yeah. I'm more excited on what we got tomorrow and the rest of the week. So, but
I bet you are. I bet you are.
But I'll take today. So.
Okay.
So
we got a jam-packed week. From Wednesday to Friday. Oh man, all of our listeners that are tuning in, you do not want to miss the Big Trav and Q show from tomorrow to Friday. We are going to have some great interviews coming up.
Shout out to the 313 family. We got a lot of listeners in the Detroit area. Shout out to the 313 watchers.
That's right.
Yeah, shout out to
313 in the building, baby.
419.
419. So Detroit.
Where you at?
You know how we do, baby.
Okay, something else I want to do at this time. Check this out. If you're watching the program right now, could you share it right now? Share it to your page right now, because we're trying to get our viewers up. You know, we're trying to get the word out on the Big Trav and Q show. So if you rock with me, you know, just share it to your page. That'll be a good look. And then if you get an opportunity during the show or after the show, go to the YouTube page, subscribe there as well. You know what? I said I was going to put a link on my page for everybody to just go to it. I'll get that link up today. Don't forget about the Instagram and the Twitter. Hit us up at both of those places. Go follow us on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, and make us official. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, in the news. Let me see. I got to open up my phone. Let me see here. Where are we going to start with? Let's see here.
I know you caught that interview. I know which one you're going to say.
You know what? Let's start with, let's see here. Where is he at? I don't see it now. Oh, it's down at the bottom. Well, anyway, I got the soundbite anyway. Okay, we're going to talk about Lil Bootsie. Lil Bootsie, baby. Hey, Lil Bootsie, you know, set it off. Big homie. If you guys didn't know, Bootsie, Lil Bootsie was in the news probably, I'm going to say maybe 2-3 months back now. And he was in the news for having an opinion about Dwayne Wade and Gabriel reunions. I think it's just Dwayne Wade's son. Dwayne Wade's son, I guess, came to them and he felt like he identified more with a woman or a girl than he did with a boy. And so he decided that he said he felt more like a girl than a boy. So he wanted to start living as a girl. So I forget his name. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure we'll get it at some point during the show, but whatever his son's name is, they changed it to a girl's name and accepted him living as a girl. And it was kind of controversial because the son is only 12 years old. And a lot of people felt like that the son wasn't old enough to make that decision. And I guess they made a decision as a family to go ahead and do it and move forward with it. And they actually called a press conference and they made an announcement to everyone. They wanted to get ahead of it. They didn't want it to be bashing. So they got ahead of it. They called a press conference, released a statement. And so everybody had opinions about it. And Lil Bootsie, he had a real strong opinion about it. I guess he was kind of misinformed on the story. And I don't even have the soundbite no more. But in the soundbite, he was like, oh, no. He was like, Dwayne Wade is doing what? So he was under an impression that that Dwayne Wade was going to let the 12-year-old have gender reassignment surgery, which basically is chopping off his penis and replacing it with a kitty cat. So I don't know what your choice. I don't know what your choice of words is in that situation, but kitty cat was my situation. But and so he was kind of outraged by it, and he didn't think it was right. He expressed his opinion, and then his opinion made the news, and a lot of people were slamming him because of it. So this morning he done an interview with the Breakfast Club, and this is what he had to say. So let me pull this up here. This is what he had to say.
Man, I went stupid. You got to tune in. I went stupid, bro. I'm just chopping it right now because of the Dwayne Wade shit. A lot of programs bagged up. A lot of sponsors and shit like that. You know how that go. So let me make this clear. I have nothing against no gay people. I got gay people in my family. I got my tour manager gay. They flipped it on me, Charlamagne. They flipped it on me. You know what they do to my words.
Why you was you should have been minding them people's business, Bootsie.
Should have did like my mama told me. I should have did like my mama told me. Mind my fucking business.
That's right.
Do you regret it at all?
She just kind of fucking with my money, but I meant everything I said, and I say it again.
No, you won't.
I will say it again. We cannot let children be
Stop, Bootsie, stop. Because listen,
we cannot. That's all I'm gonna say.
No.
That's all I'm gonna say. Kill it. Kill it, Charlamagne.
Listen, yes, right.
Kill it. I just say we cannot let children be grown. Kill it.
There you go. Can't let children be grown. I agree with that.
Kill it.
Now, Bootsie, what if somebody had an opinion about your children? How would you feel? If somebody got online and had something to say about your kids and the way you raise your kids?
That's just how they feel. My mama said the same thing. You smoke weed in the room around your kids. Sure do. I ain't gonna lie about that. I've been smoking weed since I got up from the house. When they was 1 year old. When they was 1 day old, they smelled it. So how can I talk about people? But I said what I said, and I really meant it, Charlamagne. I really did.
You can't double down.
I just dropped a song on the album called Who Am I to Judge? With all the shit I done did. But I judge, and that's how I feel about that situation, strongly.
But that comes with the territory. When you're an outspoken person, people will love you for that, but then they'll hate you for that too.
They'll drag your ass, bro. They'll drag your ass, bro.
Did you ever feel like you needed to apologize to the Wade family?
Nah. They already tried to do that. They were trying to hook up some shit with a meeting with they say Jay-Z was gonna get him on the phone and all that shit. I need to apologize to save this and save that I got coming up. They gonna hey, tell Jay-Z I don't want to talk. Yeah, I'm not apologizing for shit. I don't give a
There you go. There you go. Oh man, that's a lot to unpack on there. There's a couple issues on that I want to attack.
Okay.
I want to
grab your suitcase and unpack. Let's go.
I want to unpack him, first of all, not wanting to apologize and Jay-Z getting involved in it. And then I want to
let's go.
And then
let's go.
And then I
start
wanna,
there.
And then I want to unpack him saying that he smoked weed around his kids. I mean, I want to debate. I want to debate about that if that's okay, and I want to find out if people think that's okay. Okay,
let's go.
You know, you know what? No, I want you to start because I done all of the talking, setting everything up. So you go. You start first. Go.
Ain't you silly? Okay, now Bootsie, we're talking about. Let's address the elephant in the room. Knowing people like him, and I'm just giving some context, I had no problems with what he said. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't have any problems. Because in the world that we live in today, people nowadays are really, really engulfed to this PC, environment. And people like Bootsie, whether you agree with him or not, and for the record, I'm not really a big fan of Bootsie. But what do we want people to be? Do you want a person to tell you how they feel, no matter how graphic, how profane, how grotesque it may be? At least me and my line of work and who I deal with, I would rather have a person to look me in my eyes and tell me exactly how they feel versus them to tell me what they think I want to hear, or because you're with me and we're crew, you think you should just be a yes man and just tell me what you think I need to hear. I had no problem with what she said.
How about you, Terrence? Terrence, how did you feel about it? Terrence Grant has joined us on the line. Terrence, what do you think?
Trav, man. Hey, how you doing, Q?
What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay, Terrence, we in the middle of a two-part question. We unpacking a couple things in with Bootsie interview, and tackle the first one, which is first of all, let's start with how he feel about a 12-year-old identifying more with a woman and his.
No. You said initially you wanted to go off of what he said. Should he had apologized to Wade, to Dwayne Wade and his family?
Well, I want to take Terrence back. No, I want to take Terrence back. We didn't get his opinion. We didn't get how he felt about what Wade done first. So we'll get Terrence.
Okay.
So we'll get Terrence's opinion on how he felt about Dwayne Wade's decision on what he done, and then we'll get his opinion about Little Bootsie not wanting to apologize. So go, Terrence.
Okay. Well, when this first happened, there's this guy on my job. He came to my desk and he asked me about it. Now, I'm 50 years old. I've got gay friends. I got lesbian friends. I'm cool with everybody. Whatever you do you, because I know there are times in my life where I'm extra and people like Terrence, that's just Terrence being Terrence. So it's a mutual understanding. I allow people to do what they do, and people allow me to do what I do. And as long as you don't get too far gone, we all good. But I have never, ever had an opinion about anything, any LGBT, anything gay. I've never had an opinion. I'm like, hey, Ellen, do you? You know what I'm saying? RuPaul, do you? Whatever, do you? I'm cool with it.
RuPaul,
This particular situation, what happened was I don't have an opinion, but when I heard about it, it just hurt me on the inside. I don't know if y'all understand that. Okay? Like when I heard it, it was something inside of me that just hurt. It's like I just cringed when I heard about it. I was like,
what you heard about? What
What hurt? Okay, a 12-year-old identifying as a woman in his opinion, and his parents allowing him to live as a girl. Okay.
That now I still don't have an opinion about it, but when I heard it, just my innate being, something you know how when you walk in a room and you feel tension and you don't see nothing, but it just don't feel right.
Right.
That's how I felt. Right. That's how I felt about this situation. I don't got an opinion about it, but when I heard about it, I was like, my chest just tightened up. Like, what?
Right.
And still to this day, I haven't even talked about it. A dude asked me about it, and I told him exactly what I told y'all. I said, dude, when I heard about it, it just hurt me on the inside.
You want to get into it? You said you didn't have an opinion. You want to get into it right now? You want to get into it now? You want to talk it out? You want to talk it out? Me, you, and Q.
Yeah, me and you, Q. I guess my only Travis, you got a son, and I got 5 sons, and me and you are athletes, and we have raised our sons. You know, when Sean and Timothy was little, we was traveling all over the United States, taking our sons that we trained in our likeness to compete in events for them to be the best that they can be because they were boys. If we had daughters, it would have been cheerleading competition or even track if that's what it wanted to be. Because you do have daughters, and I got one too, but I'm focusing on the boys right now. At least at my house, me and my wife have always had conversations like, we look at our kids one by one, and we've always wondered, do they have tendencies? And one by one, we dismiss it as they grow up. And luckily, to this point, that hasn't been an issue with my 5 sons. However, the conversation has come up like, what would I do if one of my sons came to me and told me, hey, Dad, look, I identify with something else? Okay? I don't know. I really don't know. But for a kid to be that young, and I guess this would be my opinion, for a kid to be that young, to make a decision, you know, they tell you never make, when you're upset, they said never make a permanent decision on a temporary feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get angry with one of your friends, don't say something to your friend that you've had for 20 years that may end that friendship just because you was mad at the moment. We don't know. I just, if I had an opinion, I would say, listen, this dude is too young to be able to make a decision that big for him to be 12 or 13 years old.
That's exactly what Little Bootsie said. Little Bootsie had the same opinion.
If he was 17, because understand this. If he start having sex, there's a possibility he could be having sex with 17, 18-year-old men. You see what I'm saying? You see how that looks? You see? And so my thing is, if he was 17, if he was 18, I'd be like, hey, man, go do you. But for this kid to be this young, I think with him being a minor, because in this country, let's focus on that. As a minor, there are just certain things you can't do. You can't vote. You can't drink. You can't do these things. This is one of those things that I think you can't make this decision as a minor. This is a permanent decision on a temporary field. And so, if anything, go ahead.
Can I interrupt you real quick? Because I have someone someone who just said something online, and they're saying to ask you to think about it in this context. When you're young and you're heterosexual, right? And you know this from the jump. There's no, I need to temper, I need to go this way or whatever. I'm just paraphrasing their response. And they're saying, what is the difference when a young man is coming up and he knows that he's heterosexual and he wants to have sex young, and he identifies with being a man or a young man, but yet we don't have a problem with that. But if a man decides to say he identifies with something outside of what we have grown up to, what we've come accustomed to be as heterosexual, are we not being hypocritical in that?
I get it.
That's not my view. I'm just saying that.
No. That is a great point. And Q, to that person, if you're listening, understand this. We are treading on one, unprecedented territory, and we're treading on two of we're lightly covering this because this is a very sensitive issue. All I did was stair-step you through a possibility of how I would piece this together. This is not my definitive feel on the situation. I'm just Travis, because initially my point was I really don't have an opinion, but for some reason innately it just hurt me. Okay, now that's not to say whether it's right or wrong.
Well, let me say this. Let me give my position on it. What I thought was because I had never heard of a situation. I was never familiar with a situation like this before, and like anything, when you never seen it before, you don't know how to feel about it. You don't know how to feel about it.
There you go.
And so
you wasn't privy to Magic Johnson's son coming out at an early age as being homosexual. You wasn't privy to Chaz Bono coming out initially being a girl coming out as an early age and claiming, Cher. For those who may not know, we're talking about Cher and Sonny Bono's daughter, Chaz Bono. She came out early, and I know that was in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
But those are cases that have happened before.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into those. But me, like I said, I because I had never heard it before. It came off as weird. My initial thoughts was same as Terrence's. I thought that maybe 12 years old was too early to make that decision. But Q, you know what? I heard what you said. You said so that person feels like it's the same as a young man growing up and having feelings about a girl, but it's not that. I mean, it could be the same, or you could say that to give an example, but it's actually a little boy that's feeling more in alignment with a girl than a guy. And so it was just I guess, Terrence, I felt the same way you felt. It was just hard to swallow. I'm like, so Dwayne Wade says that I guess he said, basically they didn't want to pussyfoot around with it. Let's just go ahead. If you feel like that now, let's just make that decision now. Let's get it over with. Hey, listen, just make the switch, start living as a girl, and we're going to embrace it, and let's go.
Well, let me just, okay. You just sparked something in my mind.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back to the caller. The caller said, well, would it be different if it was a girl? No, it won't be different. But let me tell you this. Now that I'm thinking about it, what Dwayne Wayne should have did is told his son, look. And now I'm thinking about it because before this, I really wasn't putting no thought into it. But I think it's okay for him to feel that way. But I think Dwayne and his wife shouldn't have, well, number one, I don't think they should have went public with it.
I don't either. Yep.
This is not their, listen to this. This is his news to share, not theirs.
Right.
Okay. I think number one, Dwayne should have said, okay, guess what? If you feel this way, we're gonna talk about it. And if you feel this way, that's fine. Do you. But I think the reason why this situation is different, because if Travis, if Sierra or anybody, one of our daughters would have came to us about sex, we would have told them? We would have talked to them and said, well, you know what? We would have gave them all of the necessary information and said, you know what? Just could you hold off on this decision?
You know what I just thought? You know what I just thought about too? Dwayne Wade. The reason that he did. I just remembered the reason that he did go public with it. He wanted to just get out in front of it before everybody else made them a laughing stock. They wanted to embrace it and champion it. That was the reason. That was the reason they got out. It wasn't because it's a catch-22, because even if they had,
it is.
Even if they hadn't went public with it, it still would have crept its way into the public eye because of the kids that he go to school with, because the kids, he probably go to school with other celebrity kids, and then that would have got back, hey, Dwayne Wade's son is act like a girl, you know what I'm saying? And then it would have hit the media. Then it would have been, and then it would have came off like Dwayne them was trying to hide it. So no, I think they, you know what? Okay. Now that we talked it out, I'm fine. I'm fine with them making the announcement, because they was just trying to get out ahead of it, but I don't know. It's just tricky. It's tricky, Tam.
Let's tricky.
Get
back to what we're saying.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
Is it okay for little Bootsie to have a comment on their situation? So that's where.
Yes, because he went public with it. He went public.
Yeah.
When you make something public, it's available for everyone to have an opinion. So and he went. I think it's a moral compass situation. It's up to you to have that opinion, but if it's not a favorable opinion, your ass gonna get roasted. You know?
And that's what happened. I'm not sure who said it, but they always tell you, you can say what you want, but at the same time, you have to be willing to live with the consequences of the things you say.
Right.
Bootsie had a right to say what he said, but then as you see, the repercussions, he lost sponsors and people.
Right.
I mean, like me, I'm nobody. And I was even careful about the way that I went at it, because I know that we live in such a diverse community and you don't know who is who, but I mean, okay, Trav, let's turn the table a little bit. What if Sean was coming to you with that talk? How do you think you would have perceived it?
I think it would have hurt every man, because most men, because most men, want their son to go in, to come and go in their footsteps. They want them to come behind them in their footsteps. They want them to like their sports teams. They want to possibly get into the business that they're into. Just off the old a chip off the old block is the way they put it. So that's what most guys want. I'm not going to speak for every guy, but most guys, you would think, they want to chip off the old block. He's just like his dad. But it would be hard. It would be really hard for me. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It would be very difficult. But I've gotten older now, and so when I'm a man of God, and I just accept everything that come along with life, no matter what it is, because it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? So you just, if it's not you, and it's someone else. For me, I ain't gonna get my panties in a twist. I'm not gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? What? It just don't make no sense.
There, Trav,
Getting back on track. Let's address Jay-Z trying to step in and trying to arrange a mediation session for Lil Bootsie and Dwayne and the family to do an apology and try to make good of this. What are you guys thinking about Jay-Z trying to mediate the situation?
Go ahead, Q. I'll wait.
Okay, let me bring this into context because I heard a podcast interview with Monique. And Monique was saying how she had an interview. She was being interviewed and how she went on The View and how she had a conversation with Whoopi. And Whoopi was saying to her before she went live, she said, listen, she said, Monique, I want you to think about something real quick before you go out here and you go in front of everybody in the world. Look at everything that you've accomplished. Look at everything that you've done. Are you willing to put all that up for one salient view right now? Because that's what you're going to do. Whether you think you're not doing that or not, this is what you're doing. That means all your accolades, all that hard work that you've gotten to get to this level, once you go out there and you get on that microphone, are you willing to basically put all that up for opposing view? And to her, meaning Monique, she said it was worth it. That's exactly how she posed it. Now, it comes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, Trav. PC versus blunt. Are you willing to say, I know that I'm potentially getting ready to lose or I'm getting ready to be blacklisted? Because we know in the entertainment industry, you can be the cream of the crop, and then as soon as you say something that affects the money, because this is a bottom line industry. I don't care what nobody tell you, this is a bottom line industry. And when you get ready to mess up the money, that could be consequences that you could possibly never, ever come from. So from what I heard from the interview, Jay-Z stepped in to have that same whoopee conversation with Bootsie as he's playing the role of Monique. They said, hey, listen, we got a lot on the table, man. And you getting ready to really, really, really mess up a lot of stuff.
So he was big broing. So he wanted the big broing. Just be like, yo, little bro. All right. I don't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with Jay-Z trying to intercede. How about you, Terrence? Did you have a problem with Jay-Z?
No,
okay.
I don't have a problem with that, but I think, looking at it, I commend what Jay-Z is trying to do, because that's when you're older and you're more responsible, when you know better, you do better. I get that. But Bootsie, when he said what he said, he really meant that. And I think that at this point now, since the cat is out the bag on such a large scale, he can go and apologize. But I think whatever damage is that he done, like he said, he lost some sponsors. I think that some of that people will say, okay, he's being contrite. He's apologized. But I think in some cases, even though he apologized, he still really feel that way.
Right.
And so I think in the long run, Hugh was right. He jeopardized his badge. But this is one thing that I think a lot of people, don't really look at, is that, when you live in life, you're dealing with duality. You're dealing with reality and you're dealing with your spirituality. And the one thing that I've learned as a Christian man is that sometimes God puts you, or he puts your heart in a certain way, and you have to do something because he wants you to do it, not because of the bag and not because of public opinion. And I really believe in some cases when you got people like Monique and Bootsie, and not particularly saying that this was their case, but sometimes if you're a Christian person, sometimes God moves your heart to do something. And you can't look at the bag. You can't look at opinion. If God tell you to do something and he tell you to speak on something, you have to do it and trust what he's saying. And I think in a lot of these cases, you have that. And I think, I generally think that's what Monique thinks she's doing. She thinks she's shaking up the industry, but I think it's working against her. But sometimes that's what you're dealing with when you get people who do stuff. Like Kanye West truly believes that he's speaking for God a lot of the time.
Okay.
And that's why he does.
Okay, let me do a station identification.
It's the Big Trav and Q Show. What they waiting for? Just another damn podcast. Now let's go. Go.
Okay, if you guys are just joining us, my brother Terrence Grant has joined us. He was compelled to join the conversation about the situation with ex NBA player Dwayne Wade with the decision. His 12-year-old son felt like he identified more with a girl, and he wanted to start living as a girl. They talked about it as a family. They accepted it. They made a statement about it, and to go forward, they changed his name, gave him a girl name. I'm not quite sure what the name was, and he's living as a girl now. And their reason for doing it was to just get in front of it. You know, they didn't want to feel like they was being sneaky about it, and they weren't supporting the LGBTQ decisions and lifestyle. So they just got out in front of it. He was ridiculed mainly and a big part of by rapper Lil Bootsie, who thought that the 12-year-old was too young to be making that decision. He kind of felt like, if the boy came to them, was like, hey, I'm identifying with a woman, that they could have came up with some alternative measures to try to give him a little bit of opportunity to, I guess, continue to live as a boy, or let's say it this way, give him a chance to, give living like a boy a chance first. I guess Bootsie felt like that he wasn't old enough to make that decision. And so he disagreed with it. And he was on the Breakfast Club this morning, and they asked him if he would apologize. He said no, he stand by his decision. He wasn't feeling Jay-Z trying to jump in and mediate the situation. He wasn't feeling that. He wouldn't even take the call with Jay-Z because he believed what he believed. So that's what we're at right now. So let's move forward. I want to unpack another part of that conversation. As they were having the interview, he lit up some weed right on in the interview, and his 8-year-old son was in the room. And so Charlamagne was like, you ain't gonna like that with your son in the room. And he said, man, I've been smoking since my kids been babies. He said, my mom used to get on me about that. He said, man, they've been seeing me smoke. He said, man, they've been inhaling, marijuana smoke since the womb. So what you guys think about that? I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of smoking weed around my kids, man. I'm not a fan of that. What do you say, Q?
I say that
is it harmless? Is it harmless or you got a problem with it?
Well, I had
I got a problem with it. I got a problem with it personally.
If you're asking me, I had a problem with it, but I've seen that throughout my whole childhood growing up. People, riding the baby be in the back seat, and they got the windows rolling up, and they smoking, passing blunts back and forth. Especially what we know, not just weed, cigarette smokers to do all this type of stuff. That wasn't. He was asking them about the marijuana aspect of it. So what it did, I'm gonna tell you what it did. There was a groundswell of people that was like, yeah, Bootsie, you tell him, man. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, he could be the Tupac of this generation, man. Speak that truth. Now the pendulum swung to him saying this. Now anything that he said just fell on deaf ears, because now he went from saying something that could be arguably prolific to his rationale and reasoning is at a moot point. So what I think personally, or what you guys are going to think, that's the way he's going to be judged in the world right now. There's somebody, I'm going to wrap it up with this. There's somebody that says people like him and Monique and those who stand on the opposite side, they're going to be called period pieces. So whatever they have done, they may not feel that sting right now, but how they're going to be judged in history is what is going to come back to bite them in the end. When their stories are no longer being told, when their names come up, what's going to be associated with them in the context of the world.
Terrence, I got a question. Terrence, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I want to ask you, is that a children's services case? Can children's services be called because of that?
Yes. Well, here is the thing. Yes and no. Because you're doing drugs around your children, but no, because they're in the process of legalizing it. Also, in some cases, that would be considered a domestic issue because that's his child. You know, if he was running a daycare and he was smoking weed in the daycare, then that would be an issue. But since that's his child and he's doing it in front of his child, he's the parent. So you would have to go to somebody that would be more specialized in that field. That you kind of split the hairs with that being a domestic issue versus a legalization issue versus, you know, what it could be. But I know me personally, I mean, Trav, you done done many parties at my house over on Baptiste, and you done seen the big get-togethers we have. And my wife, Rachel, I don't care who you are, if you come to my house, you can't light up nothing.
Cigars.
Well, no. I couldn't even smoke Trav. I couldn't even smoke cigars in the house.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't even smoke cigars. Rachel, she would probably tell me, Terrence, you take that out on. Most of the time I smoke cigars, it was either in the garage or on the front porch. And if we had a family get together, and you know, most of our family get togethers, you're talking 50, 60 people per get together. If you lit up, Rachel, like, you got to take that outside. So me smoking anything around our children, Rachel was like, no. And I know, like, in the close quarters of a car, nah, it could never happen. You know, my boys see me smoke cigars on vacation, but I'm usually on the patio, or they see me on the front porch. But some weed, that now, I don't know nothing about that because me and Rachel don't partake in that at all. So,
okay, Q.
But as far as cigars,
okay, Q, I want to ask you, smoking weed in front of your kids or cussing in front of your kids, is it the same thing? Cussing in front of your kids and smoking weed in front of your kids, is it the same thing or two different things?
What do you mean by two? Is it the same thing?
Is
They're
it
both wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm just asking. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get an opinion on. So, because I think both of them is wrong. You know, cussing in front of your kids and smoking weed in front of your kids. I think both of them are wrong.
Both wrong.
So
both wrong.
one in the same. One in the same.
You lose any credibility if whatever you do, because I know you guys are probably raised the same way. My house, my rules, whatever I say, whoop-de-whoop, right? But you lose any credibility once that child comes out of that home and goes into anybody else's home. So whatever is conducted in their home, you're going to have that contrast of saying, well, that's justifiable in my home, but it's not justifiable in this home. So now you have that contrast right there. Because you could say, okay, I can do this because I know when I was around people, they would say, look, if you're going to smoke that stuff, I want you to know how to smoke it right. Because you leave out of this household, you don't know what you're smoking in the next person's house or whatever, right?
Right.
But when you do these things, what are you really, at the end of the day, what are you really trying to accomplish with that? That's the morality to all of this. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're not really getting off into the what's right or wrong. It's a moral issue now.
Okay, if you just joining us, we've of course my co-host Q is on the phone. We've been joined by Terrence Grant, my brother. He's joining in on the conversation about little Bootsie. We would love to have your comments. So in the comments, we want to know, I guess the opinion, and we want to know what you think about. First of all, what do you think about Lil Boosie's opinion about Dwayne Wade's son deciding to live as a girl? And secondly, what do you think about Jay-Z trying to get involved between Dwayne Wade and Lil Boosie, and maybe they can work this out? And then lastly, we want your opinion on smoking marijuana in front of your kids. Is it harmless? Do you got a problem with it? And I'll tell you what, we'll throw the cussing in there too. If you let your kids cuss, hey, if you're fine with it, we want to hear from you. We want to, if you're fine with smoking weed in front of your kid and you're fine with cussing in front of your kids, we want your opinion. Please comment in the post below. Give your views and opinions on why you think it's okay or why you think it's harmless. And I tell you what, we'll share, if we get some good ones, we'll share them on the show tomorrow.
And I really want to hammer home this point about the intervention, about what Jay-Z was doing, because I was really torn, because there are some people that in the industry that feels like Jay-Z's overextending himself. He's doing too much.
So he was meddling. He was meddling.
Well, no, I'm just telling you, there's a groundswell of people who feel that way. But then when I heard the whole interview in this entirely, and from start to finish, although I wasn't privy to the tone in which Jay-Z approached him, but I believe this is like, when you have a lot of money and you have interest groups, anybody that understands the interest in LGBTQ, those communities and things of that matter, I really believe Jay-Z was like trying to save this man's career.
Yeah.
I really believe he was like,
I agree. I agree with you, too.
He was coming in to say, hey, man, you really don't understand what you could be right about everything that you're saying. See, when he got to a point where he was talking about, and I appreciate a person who's direct. I love the direct.
Yeah.
But what he was trying to basically say to him was, you don't understand the controlling interest and how this is going to play out through the end. They are an unforgiving community. And that community is very strong.
They are.
And I think the intervention in which he was trying to do, because I saw Bootsie's mannerisms when he was explaining it, because he wasn't looking directly in the camera, because I think he's going to feel, you're going to see, mark this from a year now, and we'll see where everything goes, because they can stop his records, they can stop, they can stop play, they can have a very influence on how
everybody listen to what I'm about to say. Do not mess with LGBTQ plus. Please do not mess with them. They got power. They got power, man. So do not mess with them. I'll tell you what, we're gonna go.
Hey, Trav and Q, can I bring a question to the table for both of you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Would this Dwayne Wade situation, would it be any different? Instead of it being Wade, what if it was Justin Timberlake bringing his son to the forefront, and then you had Eminem commenting on it? Do you think it would have had the same effect because Dwayne Wade is black?
No. And I'm gonna tell you why. See, that's the beauty of LGBTQ. That's the beauty of, they don't get into the race stuff like everyone else does. That's the beauty of them. That's why they winning, because they don't. Race isn't. You know what? Hey, if somebody think I'm wrong, please chime in, comment. But I don't. It don't seem, race don't seem to be a big issue among the LGBTQ plus community. It don't seem, and I think that's why they winning, because to them that's petty. That's petty. There are other issues to address besides somebody being petty about race. So no. How about
no. I think you misunderstood my question.
Okay.
Do you think if, let's say, if a white guy would have came out with his son, do you think Bootsie would have had an opinion if it wasn't Dwayne Wade? If it would have just been just a random, or let's say it was Justin Timberlake.
I don't think they would have asked him. They would, because you would think I don't know, because yeah, I'm gonna say yes, they would have asked him, and I'm gonna tell you why. because that
But
move.
do you think he would have had as sharp a reaction had it not been a black man?
I'm not sure.
What do you think, Q?
Well, it's interesting that you chose Eminem for that topic because, they was on. When I say they, the LGBTQ was on him earlier in the decade. So his comments of him they were labeling him homophobic and things of that matter. So he was catching a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Until he pulled that power and he said, "Hey, who can I get that can get them off my ass?" Dun, 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 dun. Who did he get to go on stage with him in front of MTV?
Elton John.
To help offset
Elton John.
Yeah, Elton John.
So what I'm saying, the answer to your question is, without really getting into specifics, the great Eminem, as powerful as he is, he was no match. So what do you think? So what do you think a little Bootsie is gonna do?
Yeah.
And he had to do damage control. He had to pull a power move and say, "Let me go get one of the most high profile gay men out here to stand side by side with me and let them stamp that as approval." That's how he got out of that.
Yep. I think it still would have been big because I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody got a podcast and everybody got an entertainment show, and you got to have content. You got to have content to fill up these 2 hours. And what they do is they probe everybody. That was a big move. Whether you black or white, a 12-year-old deciding to live as a girl and your parents accepting it, it would have been big no matter what race you was. And so when you trying to fill up content on a show, you gonna throw it out there. If you got Bootsie in her interview and the move that Justin Timberlake made is making the news, you're gonna say while you're interviewing Bootsie, you gonna be like, "What you think about Justin Lake?" That's content, man. You gonna go for it. You gonna go for it. You gonna go for it for the sake of content for your show. And that's what I found out since we've been doing the podcast. I think that it's easy as far as, getting the content. It's easier than I thought it was because like everybody else, I go through my phone like all day. I mean, we quarantine in and you got all day to go through your phone to get content. So now that I'm not working, it's easy to do right now. So, so I can see how easy they could have baited him into that question. He probably still would have answered the same way, and we'll be where we are today. So that's how I feel about that.
Travis, let me say this: the dynamic of you and Q, because I don't know whether you know, my whole house listens to y'all podcast every day.
Oh, that's dope.
We iPad into a speaker system. It plays through the whole house because the dynamic between you and Q, the way that you guys go back and forth and the way you tie in how this podcast came to, fruition, the way y'all play off each other, that's content in itself.
I know.
The way you fly off and then the way Q come back with and I don't take this the wrong way, he comes back with the highly enlightened version of it. Like Travis, like yesterday, man, when y'all was talking about movies, I think you were slipping on New Jack City, man. that was man. And you were sleeping on Goodfellas. How can you sleep on Goodfellas? How can you sleep on Goodfellas? Travis, Goodfellas and Godfather and New Jack City. Let me be careful. Let me get my energy level back down. Every hustler in the United States, that is their blueprint. Those movies mean more to, I don't want to just label us as black men, but you got the hustlers and you got the everyday dudes. But all of us were shaped in some way or form by those movies in some way.
And Scarface. And Scarface. Yeah. I done seen Scarface probably about 20, 30, 40 times. I done seen New Jack City at least 10 times. But Goodfellas, I can't. You know what I'm gonna do for you guys? I'm gonna watch Goodfellas tonight. When we get out of here, I'm gonna give Goodfellas a chance. I'm gonna rent it and I'm gonna give it a chance, and then I'll give you guys my review tomorrow.
Okay, let me give you some quick insight before you do that.
Okay.
All of the other movies are built from the top down. Goodfellas is a mid-grade gangster movie. Those dudes are not millionaires. They're not really balling per se. Goodfellas is like the mid-range gangster. You know, you got dudes on the corner, and then you got dudes. They're the guys that's on their way up. Like Godfather and Nino Brown, them dudes, they hit the top. The dude, Goodfellas is more like, these are the gangsters. They're trying to find their way, but they're narrating the game and showing you how the whole game is laid out, but on a mid-grade level. You know what I'm saying? And then you was talking about Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood. You know what I'm saying? Right? I mean, Trav, I was listening to what you were saying. I was like, wow, dude, those are classics, man. Those are classics. However, I did agree with you one thing. Menace to Society, it rubbed me the same way it rubbed you, because I don't think people understood that the era that we grew up in, we didn't grow up in gang era. We didn't grow up in all of that F the police era. You know, we grew up, it was a nice, I can only speak for myself. I grew up in a nice era. I wasn't privy to all that other stuff. It wasn't until I saw Colors and New Jack City that I even knew any of that stuff even existed.
Yeah, that's how I felt
so
too.
When I saw Menace to Society, that was so far from my reality. It fucked me up. As a person, I was like,
because you heard about carjackings. It was the first movie that I had seen with a violent carjacking in it, and it just fucked me up. It really did. I mean, you know, I heard NWA talking about all of that stuff, but once you seen it, it was just a different story.
Yeah, it did. Matter of fact, me and Rachel, I remember I took her to the Dollar Show, and we saw that after they killed Harold, Rachel got up and said, I don't want to see this. And we left the movie.
Wow.
That's how graphic that scene was. Because that was so far from our reality. I was looking like, wow, black people live like
that? Harold was Ricky.
Yeah. What about the Warriors though?
What's the Warriors? What's that?
No. Let the two grown men talk. What about Warriors? How did you feel about the Warriors when you first watched the Warriors? How did you feel about that? Travis, I know you never saw the Warriors. I know you never saw the Warriors.
What? That kind of fell on me like a fantasy type situation. It's like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, okay. You know, I really didn't put much thought into it. And you know what, Q? Let me say something to you, man. Mm-hmm. You know, I was listening to Travis talk yesterday, and he was talking about how that scene with Harold shook him up. And believe it or not, you know, me and Travis went to we went to junior high and high schools that were racially mixed. And as far as from what I saw, we didn't have no issues at all. So we grew up in a very good era where blacks and whites, they got along. You didn't see all of this stuff that you see around everywhere. So the Warriors, that was somewhere it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but it's just a movie. But then when we saw, you know, Menace and Boys in the Hood and Colors, that stuff was just so far-fetched to us. It was like, people really live like this.
Yeah! That was my first introduction into the game world when I saw that. And then you had a powerful soundtrack with Ice-T when he played that.
Oh, my God.
That Colors it was just like, because the movie starts out not playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what I want to say?
Yeah.
Terrence, remember the days, I remember the days. Them was the days where we knew the date an album was coming out. I remember when Ice Cube left NWA and America's Most came out, man. Those were the days where one of the guys in your crew went and bought the CD or the tape, and we came back to one person house. We got our drink and we got our smoke or whatever, and we listened to it together. We listened to it. Do they do that anymore? I wonder if they do that anymore. Do the young guys do that? Remember we used to do that? We used to just, you know, we would have a party and we would just listen to the whole CD and we would give our 2 cents in on it. I remember doing it with Dave Orr and PA and them, man. We done it all the time when the album came out.
Yeah, man. Well, you know what, Travis? That was the nature of the beast at the time because that's all we had. But it's been evolved since then. Q, was that the case in your circle?
It's so ironic that you bring that up because I was just talking to one of my partners yesterday, and I was telling him about the forgotten era. You guys remember when you heard Raising Hell was coming out? License to Ill. You remember how people would go and like skip school and and the line would be wrapped around, you know, there to be the first person there to cop that CD. Well, not being it was the
cassette,
the LP,
the
cassette.
Right. And I was explaining to him the significance of those time periods when Bad dropped out, when LL, how people would just be clamoring. You couldn't even sleep the next day because you wanted to. And then we would do exactly what y'all saying. Well, we had basements, so we would have basement parties, and we would just everybody would get together. Hey man, crack it open,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and everybody would just be. So that's and you would be like, "Ooh, did you hear what he said? Play it back."
Right. We done the same thing. They don't have that in their music today versus how we were. Now they're gonna have a pushback in their era, and later on down the line, Trav, we can have somebody to be a representative to speak on their time periods. But I'm just saying to answer your question is, of course, I remember I can pinpoint so many times in my life when there were signature albums that came out, where everybody stopped whatever they were doing to go get those albums. Oh yeah,
right.
I remember that Public Enemy first album. I remember that Tupac first album. Oh man, we was in the house when them came out, man.
Did y'all have the guy? Did y'all have the guy on the cheese that was in the bus that would be sitting in the back playing the music, and everybody be like, "Hey man, what you playing? What you playing?"
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
We didn't ride the cheese, man. We rode the public transportation bus, but you know what?
Oh, there you go.
Terrence could give you another show. Terrence could give you a whole show on cracking on the bus going to school. So we ain't gonna get him started.
No. Hold on. Trav and Q, I want to go back to y'all podcast the other day. And Q, okay. I gotta agree with you 1,000% on something. And Travis, as my brother, I cannot even believe it came out your mouth.
Let's hear it.
You was talking about Queen Latifah. Travis. Hey Q, could you just chill and let me talk to him for a second?
I'm on mute. Go ahead and get
Before you start, I learned that lesson. Let me tell you what. I learned that lesson a day later when I watched RZA and DJ Premier when they done their Instagram battle. I learned that lesson because everything they played, they weren't big songs as far as numbers and money concerned, but I loved the songs. And then Miss Corona corrected me too. She said, Travis, just because something wasn't a big record, doesn't mean that person didn't have a significant impact on the culture. And I just, up until I talked to Miss Corona, I kind of felt like Queen Latifah was overrated. You know what I mean? I'm like, I kind of felt like she was overrated. I really did. I kind of felt like she was overrated. I'm like, she never done enough to get the respect that they give her. But what Miss Corona made me realize is that she made a lot of moves behind the scenes and as a rapper, she was so articulate as a rapper. She spoke articulately and she was a good, because rappers had a reputation for being hard and dirty and not being articulate. And so she was the go between say like Little Kim and say maybe somebody like Mary J. Blige or somebody like Beyonce, So I get it, Terrence. You don't even have to go there. I learned that lesson in 2 days.
Okay, well, me and you always, we live off songs, right?
Right.
Queen Latifah got a song it's on the Linkin Park soundtrack. It's called Elements I'm Among. Listen to that song. Listen to that song. Q, you know what I'm talking about?
Of course.
Elements trash. If you want to hear some bars, you said she didn't have no bars. There's a song called Elements I'm Among.
Okay.
Go listen to that.
Let me write that down.
Elements I'm Among.
Okay, let me write that down.
Here's something to put in context. See, Trav, you don't have to realize this, but for a lot of our viewers, in that particular era, hip-hop was still relatively new. So you have to understand, these were people that had to basically look at forecasting for today. So they couldn't be the Nicki Minaj's and all of them how they are now, because the controlling interest didn't want this industry to be where it is. You're talking about not even 5 years removed from disco. You're not even talking about punk. I'm trying to put it in this. So what people don't realize this, Rick Rubin made such a profound. If he hadn't done what he had done by merging hip hop with rock and saying, "Hey, cool, DMC, y'all got to get together, because without you two, this is going to catapult what's going on." Now you take it into 88, 89. What a lot of people don't give Luke credit for, it's because when he was facing the charges that he was facing for freedom of speech, had he had not went to the Supreme Court and won that case, we would not. The whole landscape of hip hop would have changed.
It would change drastically.
It wouldn't be. So what I'm trying to put it into the context is, because I asked somebody that's like, "What about Luke?" I said, "Man, y'all don't understand the history and the context of why these particular people played such a role in the way that and what they were doing at the time. Do you know what it was like at that time period when they didn't want this music to be where it is? Had Luke had not won that case, and I challenge you, Trav, or any of our listeners, go back and look at that 1988-9 and Supreme Court that case with him against the Luke Skywalker case on the Supreme Court, and see what that man was facing.
I'm actually familiar. I'm familiar with it.
You know what? I heard you guys talking about this the other day. Q, actually, that case is on Netflix right now, and I'm not sure it's under the hip hop category.
Hip hop evolution. It's part of the hip
hop evolution.
Yeah.
If you go to the down south version, they do
episode number
Houston,
4,
and they do Atlanta, and then they do Miami, and they cover that whole case on Netflix. So you can watch that on Netflix to see how pivotal Luke was to the rap industry.
Right. Yeah. But we lived it though.
We did. We lived
the whole Ice-T and Cop Killer, and how Warner Brothers told him, "Hey man, we got your back. No matter what you do." And then as soon as they got that cease and desist letter, "Hey Ice-T, hey man, my bad man, we're gonna have to let you go, man." You know what I'm saying? So when he dropped Body Count. So what I'm saying is, you know how people would say, and there are a lot of people, Trav, that do think like you in a sense of it would say, well, man, this person didn't do this or that person. Not to say that I'm not speaking for you, but what I'm saying, they may not have been the big groundswells of the industry, but their contributions are just unparalleled to people, because without Queen Latifah, man, the women's movement and hip hop are just unparalleled to people, because and kind of piggybacking, not to jump all over you, Trav, but Queen Latifah got Flavor Unit, and Flavor Unit produces movie shows. They put tons of artists out. I mean, I don't know, Q, maybe you can jump on this. I think Queen Latifah was responsible partly for Naughty by Nature
get into the industry?
No. There's nothing to think about. I didn't want to get into her attributes of what.
Oh yeah.
Who she has touched.
Listen, my opinion. Listen.
On the Uptown. I toured with them on the Uptown tour.
Listen, my opinion was just strictly lyrically speaking. It wasn't her impact on the culture. Like she just executive produced the Clark Sisters movie. Come on, she's magnificent, man. And what Girls Trip, that was hers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no.
Okay,
She's uber talented, but when it comes
we can digress.
Lyrically,
we can digress, man.
Lyrically speaking, she wasn't one of the best female MCs, even at the time.
Man, check out LMS. I'm a monk.
I'm gonna check that out. Check this out.
Right,
okay, check this out. Hey guys, we got to get moving on. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Terrence Grant for joining us today. Terrence, thank you for joining us and shedding some light on those topics. And I know we'll get some more out of you.
Terrence, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for coming on the Big Trav and Q show, man.
Okay,
no problem. You guys have a good time, and I'll see y'all later.
All right, that's Terrence Grant. Okay, that was pretty good stuff, man. My brother is pretty wise, man.
That was a pretty good topic, man. Yeah, that Bootsie one has a lot of people, talking, right now about that, and I'm going to be monitoring that, see how that plays out. I got something for you, Trav, real quick. I don't know if you saw this or not, but Diddy is getting some heat on the news right now. I don't know if you check this out.
About what?
Basically, Diddy had an issue. Well, let me just say, a closer look at Diddy's dance contest on live Instagram. The competition went down Sunday, April the 12th. After joining the live stream, Lizzo eventually started dancing with Diddy and his sons, Quincy, Justin, and Kristen, to Moneybagg Yo's 123, which features Black Youngster. Lizzo begins to twerk. Whoa, stop the music, Diddy said as he interrupted. It's Easter Sunday. Let's play something a little bit more family friendly. Seemingly embarrassed, Lizzo repeated, she apologized for her move. Sorry, right? But in the same vein, when Drea joined the battle and started dancing to back that thing up, Diddy had no qualms with what she was doing. So he let that go. So right now, you know how the fans go, and people were saying that Diddy was being hypocritical on his stance. He allowed Drea to dance and continue going on and twerk, but when Lizzo joined into the fray, he shut her down.
I think that was harmless. He had a lot going on. You can't see everything. Yeah, he did. He had a lot going on. Like I said, right before the dance marathon went on, he was on the phone with the CEO from Instagram, making sure everything go right. And right. when you are a bigger figure as Diddy is, you're gonna get blamed for a lot of stuff. You are, and so and Diddy does a great job. He has a great team, and they do a great job of minimizing, some hot water that he can get into. They do a great job of it. But I don't know. Diddy, he can't see everything. It was a 9-hour marathon show. I mean, everybody was coming on and off. His ex J-Lo and her new husband A-Rod, they came on, and that video segment is on our page. I think it was harmless. I don't think he let one go and check the other one. And he got mad love for Lizzo. Believe that. Lizzo is a good person.
Well, he responded to the outlash, and he said and I quote, he said, if Lizzo can't do it, Drea can't do it either.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And he's awesome at spinning his situations. He's awesome at that. So he's the king of that. So, okay.
Well, he just said that he had a problem with the lyrics in the song, not about her twerking.
Okay.
That's what he said.
I feel that. I support Diddy. Okay. You know what? I want to, I got a story right here, and this is you were just talking about this 2 days ago. And I suspect you've seen some of the preliminary stories about this, but let me read this. I actually, you know what? I got to go to our Instagram page, and I'm gonna have to read it from there because I put it together on there. Okay. It says Ticketmaster changes policy, no longer offering refunds for postponed shows. So apparently, you know what? I'll read the little bit that I got. Okay. I'll read the little bit that I got. Let me see here. It says most recently, Ticketmaster, which sells more than $30 billion in tickets per year, has made changes to its refund policy. According to the New York Times, the policy included refunds or postponed, rescheduled, and canceled events as recently as a few weeks ago. However, they've appeared to quietly adjust the policy, which now reads refunds are available if your event is canceled. Sneaky or just business?
Well, it's like anything. Whenever you have situations like this, whenever they come back to the table, I'm just telling you from a business mind, they're going to just look at it and say, hey, we're going to have to put some things in place to protect our money moving forward. And the no refund policies are just they've already been there. They've already existed, but now now this is going to be mandatory. So when you do it like that, Trav, you shouldn't be shocked to see things now. That basically comes down to the individual now who does his or her homework. When you're supporting certain functions and you have to now make a educated, because we are in this business, because, you and I, we do shows. And so we have to include ourselves in this. When we're doing functions now, they have to make that decision, because on some of the functions that we do, we have no refund policies on some of ours. So I hope I don't get eggs thrown at me. So you have to protect your investment at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree.
As a promoter, in a promoter's world, I can speak on my world. We're the one to shovel out a lot of money, but we're the last person to get paid.
Yeah, you know what? I totally agree, because you know what? I keep saying it, but we're in trying times, which means that we're encountering something that we haven't been. We're going someplace, or we're at a place now that we've never been before with the corona situation, and it's forcing everybody to make adjustments, and so Ticketmaster, they're no different. They're no different. You have to make adjustments to survive this. This is a lightweight, like a crash or a depression, So you gotta make. Everybody is making adjustments. That's why we're getting stimulus checks, which I hope is in my account right now. But but no, it wasn't sneaky. The media is trying to spin it like, hey, dog, how you just gonna sneak that in there and ain't gonna make a big announcement about it? I guess media wanted them to just be like, big bold headlines. We're changing our policy to, unless your event is canceled, you can't get a refund. But nah.
Well, the PR aspect of it, I do think that they should have had a little bit more integrity on. But as far as the bottom line issue, fine line print scenarios, those things have already been there, already existed, and so people shouldn't really be, But what I like is the fact that whenever you have corporations that come out like that, what that does, that's a trickle down effect. So what that basically says is that okay, so if Live Nation, Ticketmaster, and Eventbrite, all of them are uniformed. So for the independents, now we can follow those same guidelines to say, hey, well, they're doing it, so we're doing it now. Right, but what that basically says is that at the end of the night, that puts us in a position to basically say, hey, now I can pay all of my people. I can go to the DJs and do this and that. What I don't like about that scenario, Trav, if I'm being candid, is the consumers. I don't like the fact that if a consumer invests into something, what is their guarantee or what is their insurances that they get because they contribute to that particular function? So is that just money down the drain or whatever?
I just think it's a trickle down situation, because okay. I think that with the coronavirus situation, it forced everyone to make changes. Now before that hit, when you bought those tickets, it was all good. You was planning on having a good time. You probably was going to rent a great car, get a hotel, but you got laid off. So your circumstances have changed, and now everything I just mentioned, is a service, and so they have made to make adjustments. I'm pretty sure that limo service or that rental service or that hotel or that bar, the liquor people is tripping, so everything just changed. So for me, it was just business. It was just a smart business move. If you don't give back the money, because even the venues, let's take Live Nation, who you talked about the other day, like Live Nation, if they booked an arena, and I'm pretty sure the arena is working with they got to put down a deposit. I'm pretty sure that if the arenas is shut down and you can't provide your facility, I'm pretty sure they get their deposit back. So I don't think Ticketmaster or Live Nation, they're probably not losing. Hopefully it was some contingencies put in these contracts to if something in the area of the coronavirus situation, an act of God type situation, that they got something written in there where they can get their money back and ain't nobody taking no L's on that. So, okay, moving right along.
Well, what it does though, Trav, look at it from this standpoint. It gives more credence to what you and other people have had conversations about, why consumers wait till the last minute to purchase tickets.
Exactly.
For reasons like that.
And I suspect that, the coronavirus situation, it's going to change a lot of things. I think moving forward, I think people are going to move differently after this is over. I think it's going to be a lot of lessons that was learned, and people are going to move differently after this. So, okay, let's move right along. I got I think Bootsie interview was yesterday. And so the Breakfast Club, they interviewed Fabolous, Fabo. And so he was addressing 2 Chainz, calling him out to battle. And I'm going to let you guys hear this clip, and then I'll let you guys know what my problem I had with it was. It's kind of lengthy. It might be a couple things to unpack in it, but check it out.
So the other battle's been a challenge thing of like somebody just calling somebody out. I didn't think it was. I thought it was kind of like, and that's how I kept it in an entertainment kind of thing. Then he went on. He did a post where he excluded himself against, I guess,
Atlanta people,
Atlanta artists.
Right. Another like pick your battle kind of thing. Like, why wouldn't you go against Jeezy or Future or whoever? They was the trap rappers. They're of your genre and kind of era. Like, I just don't.
People making their own rules, yeah.
Chainz is my guy, but I just felt like he in the house too much. He get bored. I don't know. Maybe
I hear a battle. I hear a battle, Fab. I hear you. I hear a battle. I hear that you say you don't like it, so you calling him to task a little bit.
2 Chainz.
Because I even told Twist
another trap.
So I don't even think that's my battle. I don't even think that's the one thing with the battles is I think it needs to be a even playing field of the 2 people y'all have a battle with. You can't just throw Jay-Z versus Bow Wow. It just, you know what I mean? It just gotta.
Damn, you just try to play Bow Wow like that?
2 Chainz ain't in my class, but I think his music is in a different direction than my music. So I think
Fab got to do French Montana.
Fab will watch French. That's not fair. Fab will watch
But you got to do somebody in the same thing. Like 2 Chainz is a trap rapper, so you got to do them same type of records.
No, I don't agree. They basically, DJ Envy and Fab basically said that, you should only battle a rapper in your lane. And I don't specifically he said, Fab said, I don't think 2 Chainz is in my lane. I think he should battle another trap rapper. He said, I got different music than 2 Chainz, so I don't think we should battle. That's not true, because Scott Storch and Manny Fresh, they weren't the same. So, but we still got that. I think they need to cultivate some formal rules. I think it need to be more rules. Like it's great just to come on and do the battle with your interpretation of how you think things gonna go. But that's all bad that was all bad for Manny Fresh. Manny Fresh, he got asked to do it the day before. He put together what he thought it was going to be, and it wasn't. Scott Storch just momped his ass because he wasn't ready. Scott was ready, and Manny Fresh really wasn't ready because Manny Fresh didn't know all the rules. So what do you say? I mean, are they right? Should the battles just stick to people in their lane, or should Eminem, go against, say, maybe Chance the Rapper? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do you say?
First and foremost, I'm just going to keep it simple, like Full Force would say in the movie House Party. What you smell? What you smell? I smell pussy.
I'm gonna have to get that sound bite.
He's scared.
That's right.
He's scared, man. He's scared. Okay, so listen. Here's what he's basically alluding to. Once again, when you talk about battling, right? MC versus MC. When you went downtown or wherever you was going and you stepped in the cypher, you didn't just say, okay, all you fast rappers, we're not battling you. All the social conscious guys, we're not battling you. I just want straight street dudes. No, when you battled, you battled. It wasn't about preferences and degrees and all that other stuff. It was about who was the best. And in this particular instance, I like Fab, but I have to say I disagree with him.
Yeah,
I think that
I do.
Anytime a challenge comes out, a mano, you put your best up against mine. It's for the culture. Give the people what they want. Now, let's roll with it.
Yep, I agree. That was crazy. What else did I have to unpack in there? You know what?
Here's something, man. I don't know why you didn't talk about this real quick.
Okay.
I don't know why you didn't talk about this. Oh, this has been heating up, man. I don't know what's going on with this, man, but Brian McKnight's son thinks Usher's song Climax sounds like one of his dad's songs. What they're saying right now.
You mean The Weeknd?
Wait. In the battle between Usher and The Weeknd, the winner is Brian McKnight. The Weeknd started a bit of a beef recently when he claimed that one of Usher's songs sounded like it should have been his, a statement that had plenty of people weighing in on the topic, including R&B legend Brian McKnight's son. Usher ventured into the moody, R&B territory in 2012 when he released a song called Climax. The track peaked at 17 on the Billboard Hot 100, but became Usher's 12th number one single on the Bill charts. And I heard Climax, that song, and he was like, "This is what the Weeknd is saying." Trav, he said, "I heard Climax, that Usher started a hit and was like a bit of a beat. Holy that's a Weeknd song." That's what he was saying. So basically, there's a big disagreement, and Brian McKnight's son chimed in, and and he said that he played a song that that Brian McKnight had, and he said that all the songs all sound similar, but the whole thing should be based off of Brian McKnight because this song was out a lot longer. So what do you think in that situation?
Well,
that triangle.
Listen, I didn't bring it up because it wasn't a big story to me. You know, The Weeknd, it was simple as this for me. The Weeknd, it's a simple ploy for someone that has an album coming out. You know, Weeknd album.
Okay.
Weeknd album had just came out. Everybody doing these Instagram battles. I think he was.
Are we making up beefs now? So we making up beefs? That's what we doing?
No. I don't say it was a beef. I just thought it was. To me, I thought it was a move because his album was coming out that weekend, and he started some shit with Usher. You know, and because a couple of things could have came out of it. Of course, you're gonna probably go out and get his album to see what he sound like. Who is this guy claiming that Usher stole some of his shit? So let me go stream his album and see what he's talking about. So that's exposure for you. And then it's also in the spirit of the Instagram battles. It's in the spirit of that. It's sort of and he kind of indirectly called Usher out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a battle could have easily been formed because of what he said. Maybe he was hoping that was the case. And it would have been all good for him in his camp because, he had an album coming out that weekend. So so it was all good for him. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't Big Trav and Q show worthy for me. But you brought it up, so it was important to you, so it's important to me. So but it wasn't. It wasn't.
Well, it was trending pretty heavy, so I thought about it. But the one that was a buffer.
Yeah, that was a no-go for me. What else I got here? Oh, I got I got one more sound bite. We got 5 minutes. You think I should save it for the? You know what? I ain't gonna be able to because we got these big interviews coming up. Hold on. Let me. We can get into it shortly. All right. Let me see here. Where is it at? NASCAR. Okay. Let me find the article here. Here it is. Here. Okay. It says NASCAR driver Kyle Larson was caught using the N-word during a virtual video game live stream. And here he is.
I can see it. You can't hear me? Hey, nigger. Wow, big. Kyle, you're talking to everyone, but... Yeah, we heard that.
Oh, damn. You cannot just...
Yikes.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry. Last night I made a mistake and said the word that should never, ever be said. And, there's no excuse for that. I wasn't raised that way. It's just an awful thing to say. And I feel very sorry for my family, my friends, my partners, the NASCAR community. And
can you be sorry for saying the N-word?
Nope. Well, let me say this. I think he's sorry because he got caught, and he's sorry because of the backlash, and he's sorry because of the potential amount of money that he could lose behind that. That's what he's sorry about. I don't think he's sorry about the way that he used it because he was too relaxed in the context of his environment.
He was playing a video game online, and I guess he was calling one of the guys that he was playing the video game against, and he wasn't responding, and he was like, "You hear me, nigger?" You know what? If it was his boy, that ER still don't sit well. That ER hit differently. If that's your boy, you better get it. You better get it right. You better get that A on there because that ER that don't hit right. That never hit right. So Oh, man. All right, Kyle Larson. If you guys want to look him up, Kyle Larson. Kyle, that was a bad move, Kyle, man. Oh, Kyle, that wasn't cool at all, man. But we'll see what happens. I tell you what, I keep an eye on it. but the end.
Well, I enjoyed myself today, man. We had a great show today.
Yeah.
Thanks for your brother calling in, and we definitely want to stress the point to everybody. Go check out Big Trav and Q on our YouTube page, our Facebook page, and our Instagram page. Come check us out, man. Hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you think about the show. And whoa, and I say whoa, when you hear about who we got coming on the show tomorrow.
That's right.
It's going to be crazy, man.
That's right.
Crazy.
Tomorrow we got, first of all, we got ex-NFL player Blaine Smith. He's also an entrepreneur, and he's gonna. You actually talked to him. So what can we expect from him tomorrow?
I would just say get your pen and your pads out and get ready to get educated, because he is going to talk about everything from economics to the school system, how this virus is impacting everything economically. So get your pen, get your pads out, because we're gonna do some math tomorrow when it comes down to Blaine Smith.
And then in our second hour, yo, the R&B sensation. The R&B sensation of Rough Ends. Man, I love No More, man. You know that's one of my favorite songs, man. That's that song you put on, man, like on Friday. You got your money. You right, man. You got the car glassed up, man. You got the beat hitting in the car. You got the top down, the window open, and you on lean. You on lean. Like what? What? You just mean mugging everybody like what? No more shopping sprees. No more dough. We can't even kick it no more. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's my song, man.
I'm excited to have these brothers on tomorrow. It's going to be crazy, man.
That's going to be a good look.
You guys want to tune in and listen to this interview. I want to talk about everything, man. I want to know what's going on with this No More challenge that's been basically going hot on the internet.
Exactly.
Now. You've been seeing that, well, maybe you should do the No More dance. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited, Big Trav. It's been great doing the show with
you know what I
today.
think? You know what I think, Q? I think you should do a No More challenge, and you should record it and submit it and put it on our page.
It's like you're gonna do what you have your cigar and your Hennessy and your hat.
For sure.
And you come into the studio with that. You know.
For sure.
I'm excited, man. And then on Thursday we got Stephanie Hammonds coming in. I'm telling you,
entertainment attorney.
Oh my! Get your pen and pad out.
That's right.
I'm telling you, anybody who's on a who's who of entertainment need to be in on that call.
If you're an up and coming artist and you want to get and you want information on how to get your contract together, you know what? Listen to the show on Thursday. Then on Friday we got my man Cocaine. Coming. That's what I'm talking about.
Man, it's gonna be crazy, man.
So
I'm excited.
And hey, and shout out to our new co-host of the show, the Avengers. Shout out to the Avengers, the new co-host of the show.
That's right. And Blade is gonna be riding. He's gonna be riding with us too, man.
For sure.
He's coming. I see him. He's coming up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever.
It's the Big Trav and Q show. They waiting for just another damn podcast. Now let's go. Go.
It's the Big Trav and Q show. So what you gonna do, bro? Q is from D-Town. We chillin' in the Momo. Travis from the mud. We call it Glass City. Swoop some red bones. And they was acting shifty. It's the Big Ballin' Podcast. All the others hot trash. 6 o'clock on the dot. Better make a quick dash. All the hot topics getting played in the tropics. We picking up steam. Yo, Q, they can't stop it. Let's go.